Many people close to us usually ask us if we ever fight in our marriage because they've never seen us fight.
We are not faking it for them.
No.
Because we usually have our disagreements.
Yeah, we do.
But we resolve them without fighting. And in today's video, we'll be sharing with you how we've been able to do that.
Exactly. So let's dive in. So before we share with you how we started it, please stop normalizing fights in marriage. It's not okay. Even as we've said this thing, there are some people that don't even believe that this is true. And that's because of the perception we have that you must fight in marriage. And some even say that without fights, it makes marriage boring. So they need fight to be able to spice it up. It is not the right saying at all. You might have misunderstandings. You might have disagreements, which you're going to have in marriage because you're different people altogether. But fight is different. And let me quickly state the differences. Disagreement is you not agreeing, you not having a consensus, and that one can be settled by proper dialogue, whereas fight is the use of violence or aggression to achieve a particular aim, either to protect, to prevent, or to enforce, whichever one it is. Fight shouldn't happen. So this is how we've been able to settle our conflicts in marriage so far.
First of all, be kind to each other. Kindness goes a long way, and it is an instruction from God because kindness is part of the fruit of the Spirit.
Exactly. Right? When choosing a spouse, kindness is a very important quality you have to look out for. And me, I was looking out for that one because a kind person, even when you mess up, because the person is kind, will not be wicked to you. And there's nobody that you should be as free with as the person you get married to. If the person no fit tolerate you, oh God, I don't enter PG English. If that person cannot tolerate you, where else will you be comfortable?
Nowhere.
Exactly. So it's something we looked out for. Her kindness was something that attracted me to her. My kindness too. I don't know. Yes, but seriously, kindness is something that we've shown to each other, and that goes a long way. That kindness will help you to be able to settle conflicts. So even if you're angry, it's no room for you to be unkind. You can't use because you vexed me, that's why I did this.
Or that was why I said this. Or
exactly.
That to you.
Yes.
Because there are things you say to someone and you just cannot take it back.
Exactly.
So even in your anger, be kind.
Be kind, yes. As the Bible said, in your anger, do not sin.
Yes.
That's the standard for us. Another thing is, even from when you are dating, you should be able to watch out for this particular quality.
Yeah.
How is the person relating with the people around him?
Yeah.
His family or her family, friends, colleagues, superior,
even
inferior. Check out all those things. Yeah.
How does he talk to the security men,
yes,
the men, the waiters?
Exactly.
How does she also treat those people?
Exactly. And as I said, it was that act of kindness that further endeared me to her. The next step is that we had already agreed from day one that we started dating that we don't sleep on any issue. No matter how hot the issue is, we must settle it before we sleep. It's not as if maybe we had one issue in the morning, we wait till night before we settle it. We try to settle it there and then, but maybe sometimes emotions are high, and because emotions are high, you are likely to do stupid things. So you have to calm down and just wait till then you talk about it. This also helped us not to keep malice with each other, not to bounce each other's call.
Silent treatment.
No. Because most times those small things you keep compound. It's almost like when you keep storing things, there's a pressure that builds, and one day it will blow in a way that you would be surprised that you could react in that way because you've been suppressing a lot of emotions and might do something that would be fatal. Maybe when you do that thing, your relationship or your marriage might never recover from that again.
Another thing that has helped us resolve our differences is that everyone gets the opportunity to talk and listen.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like I am the head of the house, so you dare not talk to me or you dare not express your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes there's this temptation to feel like because you're the head of the house, nobody can talk to you. Everybody gets the opportunity. He talks, I listen. I talk, you also listen.
Yeah.
But the most importantly, just as we've said earlier, even when you're talking, you have to be able to communicate well and not use some certain languages.
Exactly.
You have to still be kind even while you're expressing your displeasure.
Yeah. So always give room for the person to explain him or herself, because it helps. Sometimes you might be sure that you are the one that is on the right side and come to discover that you might be the one that would need to apologize. So in as much as you might be convinced that that person had wronged you, sit down, talk, and give room for the person to also explain his or her actions too. Because the whole point of all these things is for everybody to grow. There are some things that are innocently done. There are some things that are done out of personal weaknesses and struggles. So with these things, if they're being done in love, there's a particular growth that comes, and it helps everybody to become a better person. So that's what we do. I don't just come and tell her, hey, Fibz, blah 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 blah, drop mic and get out. No, I don't do that. I also give room for her to explain herself, and then we move on. Then we apologize. You must always apologize. Please, this I'm sorry is very powerful. It might hurt you because, now, let's be factual. We really don't like being shown that we're wrong. It might be hurtful, but also learn to apologize too.
Most importantly, learn to work on those mistakes.
Exactly. Yes. Work on them.
Wherever you find yourself lacking, try and work on that aspect.
Yeah, and that's how you become better. When you are working on those things, you become a better person too. So another thing is that in the course of our counseling, the priest that handled our counseling really helped us to know some things, and he warned us against reporting each other to each other's family. It saves you from a lot of stress, especially issues that are not really big, but because you're angry and you feel you have a family, you just go and report them. You might forgive the person eventually, but your family wouldn't, and they would hold that against that. Exactly.
Yes, or her. He also spoke about forgiveness.
Yeah.
Why forgiveness is very, very important in any marriage that wants to stand the test of time. So he said we should always forgive each other, and you shouldn't feel like there's anything that you are not capable of forgiving.
Yeah, I remember before we got married, there was this time that we asked each other, what will I do that you not forgive me? And she came up with something. I think I came up with something to be like, if this one comes up, it will ruin our relationship or so. But in the course of growing up, I can beat my chest and say that there's really nothing that I cannot forgive. There's nothing worth holding a grudge or just keeping it against the person because the person did wrong or so. So you have to learn to forgive. Forgiveness comes from you. It's not based on what the person did. It's based on who you are. And when you have two people that are forgiving towards each other, it helps us also grow. The whole point of love is you being vulnerable, you being yourself, you being weak, and then knowing that yes, this person has your hand to be able to lift you up. That's why the Bible says two heads are better than one. When one is down, the other one is going to lift the person up. But when two are down, and who is going to lift the other person up? Please go for proper counseling and ask a lot of questions.
Also, some people, when they get offended by their spouse, they don't talk to their spouses. They just start reporting them to their friends, families, whoever that cares to listen.
Neighbors, you go and sit down somewhere and be eating suya and start complaining about your spouse.
The truth is that the best way to go about this thing is talk to your spouse first.
Yes.
And even if you're going to involve anyone else, it should be a neutral person.
And that's after your spouse refused to listen repeatedly. The person is not changing, and that thing is really detrimental to your relationship. Then you involve somebody else, which the person should be neutral enough to be able to tell you people the truth. As they usually say, no be person will first call police, they win case. It's not because you went to the police station first that you win a case. Yes. So because you reported to the neutral person does not mean that the person will always defend you. Yes. The person should be able to come in, listen properly, and make his or her input properly. So you should have an access to a professional counselor also.
And in conclusion, you must not fight in your marriage. And it's not just us. We also have friends who are peacefully married,
no
staying together, no basbos, no abuse, nothing. They are enjoying their home.
It's just that most times, unfortunately, such people are quiet on social media. So it's those ones that are fighting that are very loud, and you'll be thinking marriage is full of this kind of loud people that are fighting. But there are people that are quietly enjoying their marriages. Life is hard enough. You shouldn't come and make it harder on your spouse. So settle things properly. It goes a long way for you guys. That's all for today's video. We hope you've learned something from it. We hope you can apply. It's brief and straight to the point too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe, especially if you enjoy content that we make.
Also share our videos.
Share it with many people.
We'll find it helpful.
If you have any question, let us know in the comment section too. We're going to answer it as quickly as possible. Thank you, and we're going to see you in our next video. Bye.